And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off the last time. You were yourselves 4 in our chill Ottoman game, where we're trying to finish off the sovereign African powers in this part, I think. Our troops are landing over there in Madagascar. And we're making pretty good progress, I think. Quickly getting some stuff down. Not much really to explain at this point in the game, other than the fact we're attacking everything systematically at this point. And then we have way too much money. More money than we normally would need to have. So one reason I'm not necessarily investing in buildings that make more money, because I don't need more money. If anything, I need the game to be a little bit less laggy so we can actually spend the money on troops. Kazambi here has surrendered. Got their forts occupied. Are they willing to almost willing to give us what we want from this position? Go siege down the rest of the country, and once it's all sieged, they probably will. We want to make them a subject. We can get them out of the war and probably ignore them because we're going to just turn them into an islet. Use the artillery barrage. That wall breached. Not quite yet. You know what, we'll let them have their coffee. Don't be unrest. Don't need the legalism that much either. Yeah, you got Kazambi here, fully occupied. They're not willing to surrender, they're only like 2 points off, so it's maybe not going to be long, but oh, yeah, 2 points off. Still not right this moment. People's Republic, yeah. Just because it's the nice thing to do, not because it's actually a smart thing to do. Because we don't need the invaders, because we've already got it all. And this will be a little bit of a interesting thing. I'm going to pull this islet into the war in hopes they do deal with the rebels. They might not, but, you know, there's one way to find out if they will. That's to give them the opportunity. Yeah. Looks like they might be taking the opportunity. Sieging that one down. SMB. We can go ahead and see if they're willing yet. They are now willing. Okay, we can just lower their unrest. Or lower their liberty desire by throwing siege at them. And then they'll be promotable next month. This 85's done, we'll get these guys to go deal with this kilowatt army. Okay. Make them on my green. And yeah, Kilwa is almost beaten. They're not going to accept giving us anything on Madagascar until we siege down that one fort. We do want to basically take that and say their coastline. And those work. We'll keep the interior area there. Wait, can we actually just annex them? Or am I missing a spot? Not counting 4. Yeah, missing a spot. No, but we can just full annex them, okay. They are full annexable. We just need to get 4 squared. It's gonna be just a little high on the aggressive expansion, but what I could do is I could just annex them, release them. Yeah, I might just annex, release them. You got too much development to be integrated. We can rein you in. They've got too much development just to be integrated, okay. Not the same with, yeah. Oh, we're taking that fort over to the next fort. Well, I think the enemy has recognized that they're in the wrong spot. There's a large enemy descending upon their position. The Kilwa is over. It's gonna start reining them in more and more and more. Holland's too big to be reined in. Basically, the plan is rein them all in, annex all the ones we can rein in, and then at which point we can start trying to chip down the ones that we can't do that to. They're literally willing to accept their full surrender even without taking the last of bits. Okay. There we go. How bad of an idea is it to just turn around and release them again? Or... where's those provinces? And a car. Yeah. Okay, if we can release some smaller subjects to basically do the same thing, so I don't have to release the whole thing, and then I can Zianmatar annex the rest, that'll probably be best. Okay. That takes us below 100%, so yeah, I'll casually annex the rest. Holding down caps lock instead of shift. Okay, we can now grow clothes in Zanzibar, which we'll do. Clothes is a pretty good trade resource. Okay, and then that gets us. Well, we can also make these guys islets, right? Make you an islet, and then 8 days make you an islet. There we go. So now we're back to who do we attack? You're being attacked by Chile. I assume Chile started it. Leave my subject alone. There you go. I'm talking France and stuff. Okay. Yeah, we'll probably want to do stuff in the old world. And it probably wants to be against Portugal. I think Portugal is still probably the defender of the faith. Which means they're going to get involved in all sorts of things that they wouldn't otherwise be involved in. Yeah, defender of the Catholic faith and will protect Austria. Okay. So yeah, it is a go after Portugal option. Theory bring down Portugal is 102% war score. Would drag in the Great Britain and the United States. So the biggest problem there is it's dragging the United States. I don't think we're quite ready to fight the United States. But at this point, I think it is pretty much, yeah, we gotta go fight them. So they're next on the chopping block. Let's start this war. Oh no, don't automatic transport like that. You be responsible for seeing that bit. I need to stop those ones on. Oops, nope. Siege. Those two? Okay. And then, like that one. That's that area. We do got rebels here that we should actually probably put down. And again, I suppose by declaring war, we have the Americans will possibly deal with those rebels for us. Grain, livestock. Also, I think that was at least a side grade, if not an upgrade. Oh, there's the Portuguese army, and it is not tiny. Did basically allow it to overrun one of our guys like immediately. Well, Sept have crossed the border, but that's fine. It's not a particularly threatening place for them to be. Oh, I'm at war with Great Britain. I should remember to actually use the Great British troops. Great British area troops. Of course, I haven't got any of these guys commanders, so they're not necessarily occupying particularly effectively. Maybe a mistake. Okay, we'll be outnumbered, but we have the terrain advantage here. Say the terrain advantage. We have the fact that we're defending a fort. Which against the Portuguese is not enough. Okay, bring more troops over, because we're going to have to solve our problems with numbers. Boundary has fallen. Big bit of stack there, jump him. Battle of San Diego. Okay. That's a setback, nothing more. Just, that was basically the garrison in California falling. Which is fine. That just shows us that the Americans at some point are going to be like the final boss. Yeah, I think the war in South Africa is at least mostly done. You know, apparently that just probably just moves the war to the New World. There's Northumberland. And the Irish Sea into our own little pond of our own choosing. We're going to be able to besiege his force. Our force headed over there, going fast a little faster. So they get it going a little bit faster, and they don't even get to the siege in time for the siege ends. That works. So I wonder, can we? Answer is probably no. I think we have something like reduced war cost against other religions, and Portugal's different religions. There's a chance we can actually annex all Portugal. That's probably going to require us getting the other majors out of the war first. Doesn't mean it's impossible. Yes. For 77% war score, we can full annex them. Actually, we probably want you to siege the other castle in Somerset. I was about to go send them over to Ireland. It's like, nah. Lisboa has fallen. Okay, now we're really in the time to go find the Portuguese army and give it the what we think about it. Yep, last major fort has fallen. We just pile these guys up in preparation for a big battle. I think that's a good place to start. Start sending them in. And even if the battle starts to turn against us, it does look like it's turning against us. We have a second wave. Okay. Pretty horrendous losses. I think we can handle that. At least handle it better than I think the Portuguese can. Yep, there goes half the Portuguese army. The other half is being descended upon as well. Yeah, Destruction Portugal will hand over 3 more colonies, significantly improving our control over the New World, and maybe setting us up for some bigger fights with Chile and Peru. Okay, with the destruction of Portuguese army in the mainland, I think that is probably a good place to put a part break in. Those guys will start marching in Tyrone. And yeah, war in the UK is going well. Not actually exactly sure what we're going to want off of the UK. We can give us some cores we don't care about. Oh, I suppose we can do a little bit of returns, which would be fine. Gotta be careful, because if I take too much stuff personally, then I've got a court. Whereas right now we're annexing... Well, I suppose I don't need to go too overboard, right? So... What's the lower square stuff here? The board... Some of their foreign stuff. Okay, if we drop the board. Still on board. Desmond... Oh, this is a fort over there. Take all the stuff they don't have forts in the region of. Is there a fort over there as well? Or do we just... Yeah, okay, we want to fight the British a little bit longer. We'll finish them off in the next fight, in the next video. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. I'm going to try to record 2 more parts tonight. So we should be able to finish up with this war in the next 2 parts. Maybe if we finish up in this war in the next part, I'll actually just do 1 more part tonight, but we'll see. So with that, if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break to sip a little bit of tea between parts, and then we'll get back to recording. So until the next part, I wish you all the best of luck and good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.